Hi, this is Mr. Harnell. We're back at 824 Libby Drive, and we are going to try to make sure this countertop fits. I have what has become my #1 helper right now, over helping me. His name is Ben. He's super excited to be here. But it is at least a 2-person project because this piece right here is a little better than 12 feet long. And this has to be pushed into this corner over here to see if it fits. And then we have to take this piece and put it up here, and we have to make sure that fits. And if it looks pretty good, we have to take, you know, both of the pieces and glue them together. Right here. Make the $6 million man sound, and then I am going to carefully put this in place, and we're going to see if it's going to work. And I checked this, and I don't know if you can see that, but it is nice and flush right there. It is flush, and then we have to make sure that we have 30 inches at least in between this area, because right there we have to fit a stove. So my trusty assistant right here is going to take the tape measure, which hopefully we know how to use it, and we get a measurement right there, and it looks like 30 inches is going to work. If it's less than 30, you are going to be poop out of luck. So now we're going to glue this joint right there. Okay, what I've done is I've set up 2 tables. Like I said, I have 1 table right here, and then underneath the 12-footer is another table. They're the same height, which is very important because you want both sides to line up. And you might be able to see right here, I've got this on a tripod, but right here. All right, here we are. We're gonna line these 2 up, and I think we have to put some 1x4s underneath there, and then we're going to glue it. Okay, this is what it looks like underneath the countertop right here. You can see that it's routed out. It comes this way. We ordered these from Arrowhead Supply. I like going with them because it's local. It's located down about 24th Avenue West, and when things don't go very good, like your angle or miter is off, you just bring it back there. They'll charge you for it, but they can redo the miters for you. They can shorten it a little bit if you don't have 30 inches. So I think it's sometimes important to go local. If you went with the Menards or your favorite M-word or whatever, you probably can't bring it back, and you're gonna be just poop out of luck. Tables so that they're exactly the same height. I had to put some shims underneath it. I had to shim this backside of this countertop over here that you can see. And then there's a little groove right in here as well that this strip goes in. That holds these 2 parallel from front to back. And then I have to generously put in some wood glue. I'm using a Tight Bond, waterproof, water resistant wood glue right here. And I put it on generously. And the problem is going to be that it's going to drip on my face as I do this. So it's a lot of fun. And then I have to tighten these bolts underneath. These bolts look like this. I have to take a 7/16" wrench and tighten that up, and I have to make sure that this all lines up on top and that this seam is nice and tight and it lines up. This is really a 2-person job. Okay, the glue is dripping now on one side, and I've taken this strip, I put some glue on it on both sides of it. I want to make sure I got enough glue to hold it together. And the glue is dripping on the floor. I put a board there to protect where I'm gonna lay. I probably don't wanna wear really nice clothes right now, which I kinda have some nice clothes on, so I'm kinda sad. But anyways, that's the way it is. I put that strip in like that, and I wanna put glue on both sides of it. So I glue this side too, and not everyone does that. I know Safety Steve only talks, I think, about gluing one side. I don't wanna speak for him, but I'm gonna spooch it on both sides, and I kind of put my finger in it like that. So I'm going to go like this and get it on both sides. Right now I don't have any bolts in it, but I pushed it together. There's some glue drip that is kind of oozing upward, which is fine right now. You don't want to leave that overnight or you're going to have some problems. But the most important part and the most visible part, I think, is right there. So you want to line that up. And so one person has to go underneath and start tightening these bolts. And that could move back and forth. And then this has to stay together. And you get basically one shot at this. If you screw it up and you leave it overnight, you've got to cut that and your countertop just gets a little bit smaller and you just wasted half a day. Okay, then I take my wet sawdust 5K 2019 t-shirt that I earned, when was it, a couple summers ago from Cloquet, and I wet the bottom part because I've already ruined it because I got stain on it. And I take off the glue on the top and I make sure that both sides are lined up. I've tightened the bolts a little bit right now. And I didn't show you this part, but I ran a black marker along the inside before I glued it, a permanent marker along the inside before I glued it together. Sometimes I think that prevents from seeing wood and particle board because that's all this is made of. It has a thin veneer and I have to get all this wood glue out. So I'm using this $25 sawdust 5K shirt that my daughter Lizzie beat me in a couple summers ago. Oh, Cloquet. Hope to be doing it again maybe this summer. And you can see how that's looking pretty good. It's pretty smooth. You want to make sure that one side isn't higher than the other because when you run a glass over the top of it, you don't want your glass of water to tip over or any other important beverage that you might do that to. So from the top bend, I'm going to tighten these up and I'm going to bring it together. I don't want to like blow apart the bottom, so I'm just going to snug it up and you want to make sure that stays like this. Okay. Okay, here's what it looks like from the underneath side. So I just take my wrench, and when I say I don't want to blow it up, I don't want to tighten these too tight. So they're snug right now. You can see the wood glue kind of oozing out down here and falling on my face. So I tighten these up, snug it up, and then I would wait overnight to move this countertop. I wouldn't rush it. And then this is the one that we have to eventually cut sink into, and I'll show you that at a later date. It's going to be super, super exciting. All right, I think we're all snugged up down here. There's 4 bolts down here, and we're just gonna let her ride. We're gonna wipe that glue off, make sure it's nice and smooth like that, and just let her ride overnight. My favorite part of gluing is watching the glue dry.